Coach Sheldon Harrison. There never been no comparison. You're live on the show. Sit back and have a listen. All right. LDWTC. This is your boy Coach Sheldon Harrison. You're live on the Coach Sheldon Harrison Combat Sports Show live. Okay, guys. You got John McEnroe. John McEnroe and Chris Everett. It wasn't even so much Chris Everett. It was more so John McEnroe. He came and, basically he was saying, listen, I hope that Coco Gauff loses the U.S. Open to Naomi Osaka. I hope she does. Because, it's just too much for a 15-year-old to handle, and a 15-year-old needs to understand, really to grow into who she is. And, it sounded good. But it sounded like he was hating. And, and I kind of started thinking, wait a minute. I thought about all the other sports where young people get into, like gymnastics. Like, I didn't hear John McEnroe saying anything about, these young gymnasts that get into the sport at age, 12, age 13, and then they go into the Olympics at 15, and winning medals at 15 and 16. How was John McEnroe going to explain this? And then, I started thinking about some of the other young, tennis prodigies. I started thinking about them. He mentioned Martina Hingis. I remember when she came out, people wasn't talking about how young she was. I mean, it's good grief, man. Are you serious? Seriously, Jennifer Capriati. Jennifer Capriati, I think she came on the scene when she was 13, 14. And she won a championship. And I'm pretty sure, man, because I think I remember watching Jennifer. I think Jennifer Capriati, I think she may be a year or two older than me, man. Not too much older. And I remember watching her on TV. I'm like, oh, man, she about my age. I said, God, dog, and she already playing for championships? Heck, man. Are you serious? Jennifer Capriati. Millionaire by the time she was 15 playing tennis. But I guess it ain't good enough for Coco Gauff. It did. It sounded like and then he was saying that if Coco Gauff wins, that's bad for women's tennis. What? Then he hurried up and covered up and said, well, yeah. Well, because she's 15. Because she's 15. Okay. Jennifer Capriati. Jennifer Capriati was winning championships. I don't think she won the U.S. Open. I don't think she won that, but I can look it up, I don't think she won the U.S. Open. Okay, but, she debuted in her pro career, when she was 13, 14. And she did have a couple of titles, man. She was, one of the youngest players to win a dang on title. That was Jennifer Capriati. Max and Stephen A. Stupid. I know they don't know tennis, okay? So they wouldn't have known this, unless you really go look it up. But John McEnroe and Chris Everett, they know this. They know this because they know tennis. They know the sport of tennis. The way it came out, it just came out wrong, man. It came out wrong that, he could have just said, what? I think Coco Gauff winning, okay? I think her winning against Naomi Osaka is bad for her, okay? And her mental stability. See, he could have said it like that. But see, he said, that's bad for tennis. Oh, okay. So Coco Gauff bad for tennis. Well, let's think. Were you good for tennis? I mean, the way you degraded officials, the way you degraded and cussed out officials. I mean, was that good for tennis? Everybody loved that. Or everybody thought that was good. Everybody thought that was just, hey, he was just a passionate athlete. But then when Serena Williams challenged an official, she being a crybaby. Oh, she doing this, Well, okay, I take it back. John McEnroe wasn't the one that really condemned Serena Williams. He actually said, look, he understand that because he did it. But, we talking about now the rest of the media and society was condemning Serena Williams, but they ain't condemn him. Nah. But how good is John for tennis? Okay, I mean, if he did all that. Now, see, I could spin this a different way and say, hey, John McEnroe is good for tennis because he's got an academy. Okay, that, he's working with, young people in tennis. Now, I don't know how much he charges these people. I don't know if it's non-profit. I don't know. But, looks like a pretty nice, expensive tennis facility. So, I don't know how much he's giving back. But, I could spin it that way. But see, I understand the history. And before I even made this video, I knew John McEnroe's history. See, he know tennis, man. He know tennis. I mean, could this have been good for Jennifer Capriati? I mean, homegirl, what? She was smoking weed. running around here trying to, shoplifting, doing all kind of stuff. I guess it affected her bad too, didn't it? You see, man, I hate these narratives, man. I hate a lot of narratives when it comes to people like Coco Gauff that's really out here trying to move and shake. You know, she's trying to she's trying to make history. She really enjoys tennis. Like, why is it that whenever a young person do something before their time, they're just, they're going to do damage to themselves and their careers and their health? And, maybe Coco Gauff could be the exception. And Max Kellerman seemed like he was the only one that kind of had some sense. And Stephen A. Stupid had a little bit of sense. He had a little bit of sense. Like, he was kind of like, shoot. Good grief. It could work. It could work. And Stephen A. Smith was kind of like, he didn't really want to question John McEnroe. He didn't want to question him, but Max Kellerman did. And I got to give a shout out to Max Kellerman. I don't agree with Max Kellerman on a lot of things, y'all. I don't. But I do agree with this, that, okay, give the girl a chance. Okay, she's playing for a championship. What is she supposed to do? Go in there and lay down and lose? Like, it's the stupidity out of John McEnroe's mouth. It made no sense, the whole thing. And the way he said it, when people say things the first time, that's really how they feel. Okay, I've come to know that as an adult. Okay, I've come to know that, in my years on earth, I've come to understand that what people say the first time is what they mean, and then when they try to cover it up, that's not what they really mean. See, when they try to cover it up, then they're covering it up because they got caught saying what they didn't really want to say the first time. If you guys can understand what I'm saying, okay? They got caught saying what they said the first time. And it is what it is, man. Coco Gauff need to keep doing her thing. She need to keep doing her thing. Yeah, so what? She lost to Naomi Osaka. She ended up losing. And then, okay, this hater came out to me, I think that's good for tennis that she lost. Wait a minute, how the hell is that good for tennis that she lost? I think he don't like the fact that Coco Gauff getting all this attention, man. He don't like it, man. He don't like that she's really getting a lot of attention, and a lot of attention that she's getting is very positive attention. It's extremely positive. So, I don't know. Like, maybe people understood what John was saying. I really wasn't vibing that. I wasn't feeling that, man. I wasn't feeling that at all. I think, we're in the age we need to tell, we want young people to go out and do everything they're supposed to do. We want young people to reach for the stars. And here goes somebody, Coco Gauff, who reaching for the stars, who parents, they pushed her in the right direction. She ain't out here, with like 5 boyfriends. She ain't out here sleeping around, getting pregnant. She ain't out here stealing. She ain't out here cussing up a storm. The girl is very articulate. She ain't doing none of that, man. You know what she doing? She out here playing what she loved to do. Okay, she out here playing tennis. Okay, she's trying to be the best. Why not support that? I support it. I support the sister Coco Gauff. This is your boy Coach Sheldon Harrison. I'm done. What are you waiting on? Subscribe.